Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be going back into more Honkai Star Rail because there's so much to listen to. There's actually just an absolute ton of tracks from the Hoyo verse. So we're going to go into another track, and it's called A Dramatic Irony from, as I said, Honkai Star Rail. I've really enjoyed all the tracks that we've done with, you know, Genshin, Honkai, and we did Zenless Zone Zero as well last week, which I really enjoyed too. So we're going to dive into this. What we'll do is we'll react to the whole thing all the way through without stopping as usual, and then we'll listen to it again and analyse it a bit more from there. Before we do that, please do like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. But let's get straight into the video and let's react to A Dramatic Irony from Honkai Star Rail in 3, 2, 1. Go. All right. All right. Well, okay. What on earth? Goodness me, man. I really love these tracks. Like, the definition of, like, short and sweet. Like, they are just, there's so much in them. And they're just so full of just drama, you know. And I mean, it is called a dramatic irony now. So, obviously there is the glaring Vivaldi in that. Well, I just spent some time finding the original. I found a performance of it, which we'll look at as well. That was really cool. It was kind of like, it's almost like a movie theme or something like that. It was so epic and just full, you know, dramatic, tense. Let's start reacting to it again, and then we can jump in between some things. Okay, and of course we'll stop and start this time. Here we go. So I feel like we're kind of getting a bit of a, I suppose, a tease of where we're going. That kind of pull across the bow, the strings, just the pulse, 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 pulse. And there's kind of like, almost feels like space-like sort of sound effects in there as well. And this beautiful, just kind of slow, again, arpeggiating piano melody on the top as it just kind of rounds and rounds and rounds and kind of builds and builds and builds on top of each other, just raising that sort of temperature, you know. And then obviously we're getting the themes of the Vivaldi track here with the piano, which is really, really nice. Following the same sort of melody line as well, but also getting this kind of clunking and this kind of ticking, and it feels like a clock and the sort of mechanics of a clock are sort of making these sounds underneath it, which I think is quite fascinating. I'll play it again. Just kind of how dense and almost like wooden sounding the percussion is. And then you get the piano kind of rolling, and then you kind of get a synth sort of sound underneath it, and gives that kind of futuristic sort of tone in the picture, right? And then obviously. Okay, so obviously we get this iconic piece of violin, which I'm sure. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I'm familiar with the works of Vivaldi, but I mean, everyone's heard that motif before. And the track, I'm going to go back because we're going to listen to it again. But the track is Vivaldi Winter, and I've got a performance that I just found on here. Which we can kind of have a little listen to it, so we get sort of similar themes. So we won't play much of this. We'll play like, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe. Okay. So this was a kind of sort of when the piano was coming in as well. This is when we're kind of getting those builds here. Again, that kind of build of tension, but this is far more cinematic, obviously, than the original piece. It's got those thumps and those large, like, again, those big, like, that big massive piece of percussion that had so much reverb on it. It's like cinema movie trailer style, kind of that thump. And it kind of then reverberates and builds into the main motif. Let's keep going with this one. Alright, I mean, this is extremely impressive, but this is not why we're here. But yeah, you're getting the point that this is where the song is from. And you can kind of see the similarities in the build and the composition style. But we'll leave that for now, because we're focusing on this. And we'll carry on, and we'll keep going. Again, like, obviously we've still got the motifs, but still those big reverberating thuds in the background. That, again, that cinema trailer style. And it kind of goes a bit more EDM style, and then as which is quite nice, as the motif naturally sort of builds in pitch, again the percussion and the beat underneath starts to raise in tempo, raise in pitch, and we know it's going to hit into that absolutely filthy drop. That's ridiculous. What I really like is it still keeps the violin in there. So as that was kind of descending from the crescendo, we've still got the violin kind of just again descending in pitch, kind of chromatically with the song. And that was very, like, again, violin sound. This is great, man. This is like I mean, it's just brilliant. It's just such an interesting and fascinating way to blend a classic piece of, well, classical music that's very famous into this kind of whole new sort of composition themed for this game. It's brilliant. it's brilliant. Like, and it's so crazy that it's just, you know, it's within this game. Probably not a lot of people, at least a lot of people that in my circles probably haven't heard it. And then that slowing of the pace. And this is also very cinematic. This is very movie trailer. This is very hype. Well, game trailer as well. As it starts again. Slowly raise that boiling point. Build the tempo up. Going to build the time, well, not time signatures, but building the tempo, the time, to then kind of push back in. And again, this is also part of that. And then to have that kind of, that sort of alien science fiction sort of kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, but then that kind of phase underneath it as well, I think really, really works and really blends well. And it still lets the strings and the violins sit out and have, you know, have the front. They have the floor still. Also, just another really, really cool end. Again, that low kind of hum across again, given that real sort of epic, large feel to it. It feels like huge moving parts as it kind of raises to this short end. You can hear it build in the bass, and then you get that raise of tension again. And that last sort of drill of those strings, and then that real cut off, just bang. Obviously, it still leaves that reverb on there as well. It leaves that echo, so it's kind of, it leaves that little trail on there, so it's not a sharp cut off or a tight cut off. So we kind of like, this is obviously an open end for whatever it's showcasing in the game, or whether it's a trailer or something. It does really leave that kind of like, oh, more to come. It's not over. It's still, the tension is still very high. At least that's how I feel about it. This was really good. I didn't know what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to hear some Vivaldi on going into this, but I loved this. This is really, really good. Great. Let me know what you thought of a dramatic irony in the comment section. Let me know how you reacted when the first time you heard it. Maybe today was the first time, or maybe you've heard it before. Let me know. What do you want next? Of course, put from the Hoyo verse or from anywhere. Put that in the comment section below. If you've watched all the way to this point in the video, I appreciate you the most. Thank you very much, especially. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. But having said all of that, thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.